Hello everyone, welcome you all in the first lecture of Data Communication and Computer Network. I am Professor Dr. Awakash Mishra from School of Engineering and Technology, Maharishi University of Information Technology, Noida campus. So, today we will discuss the overview of data communication and computer network. In this first lecture, our objectives are to understand the concept of data communication and networking, to understand the characteristics and components of data communication, to understand the different modes of data flow, and to understand the types of connections and topologies. Apart from these topics, we will discuss the importance of networks, the requirement of networks. As we all know that in this modern era, our life is surrounded with the network. We can imagine our life without the network. So, it is very important to understand the basic concepts of data communication and computer networks. So, what is data communication? Data communications are the exchange of data between two devices via some forms of transmission medium. So, what is data communication? For the data communication, we required at least two nodes or two systems. Suppose one system is sender and second system is receiver. For the data communication, at least two nodes are required. Sender sends the data to the receiver. Receiver accepts the data, and again, if required, receiver again resends the data. So, it is very important to know the concept of data communication. And here we have seen that the exchange of data between two devices, it means the sender and receiver should be there. And here it is mentioned that via some forms of transmission medium. So, for the data communication, the minimum requirement is the transmission medium. Suppose sender and receiver wants to send or receive the data to each other, then how it is possible? It is possible only with the help of transmission medium. So, what is transmission medium? There are various types of the transmission medium through which sender and receiver can communicate with each other. So, transmission medium, we can categorize the transmission mediums in various types. Just like we first can categorize the transmission medium in guided media and in unguided media. Guided media is also known as wired media. Wired media, it means there should be the physical channel. Wired media again we can categorize in three different types: twisted pair cables, and coaxial cables, and fiber optics cable. In the transmission medium, we have seen that in guided media, we can categorize the guided media in three major types. And the second is unguided media. We will discuss the guided media and unguided media in later lectures. But here we are discussing about the basic concepts only. In unguided media, it is also known as wireless media. Wireless media, for example, microwaves, X-rays, radio waves, etc. So these are the transmission mediums through which we can, sender or receiver can communicate with each other. So the first thing is data communication. Without data communication, there is no concept of the network. There are some characteristics of the data communication we have to understand. The first characteristics is delivery. Delivery means what? The data should be correctly delivered to the destination. Suppose this is the sender and this is the receiver. So the first characteristics of the data communication is delivery. It means the data should be correctly delivered to the receiver. Second point is accuracy. Accuracy means the system must deliver the data accurately. The data which is delivered, which is transferred by the sender, it should be correctly delivered to the receiver. If we are sending the data in some other form and it is received by the receiver in any another form, it means the data is not correct. So the characteristics of the data communication is to accurately deliver the data. The data should not be altered, should not be changed during the transmission. The next characteristic is timeliness. Timeliness means the system must deliver data in a timely manner. It means the data delivered late are useless. It means the data which is generated by the receiver, the data that is transmitted by the sender, it should be delivered to the receiver in a timely manner, and there should not be any delay. The next characteristic is jitter. Jitter means the variation in the packet arrival time. It represents the variations of the packet arrival time. It means it is the uneven delay in the delivery of the audio and video packets. So these are the basic characteristics of the data communication. Suppose, what are the characteristics? Why it is important? Suppose I am taking one example of security. Suppose I am telling that security. So what is security? Security means when we want to access the data, it should be available for us. Data should be available. Data should be confidential. Data should be available, data should be confidential, and data should not be altered during the transmission. It is integrity. So these are the characteristics of the security. Just like the same, these are the characteristics of the data communication. We can say the data is transmitted among the senders and the receivers when these four characteristics should be there, should be followed: delivery, accuracy, timeliness, and jitter. Data should be delivered to the correct destination. Data should be accurately delivered to the receivers. Data should be delivered in a timely manner within the time frame, and the data which is delivered to the receiver, there should not be any delay. So these are the characteristics of the data communication. Now, What are the components of data communication? We have to understand that there are 5 components of the data communication. After the data communication, we will go to the next slide for the networks so that we can understand the whole concept. So, communication, components of data communication. First one is message. If suppose I am taking a very basic example of client and server. Suppose this is the client, sender, and the receiver is the server. So, first one is a message. There should be some message that has to be transmitted among the client and server, or the sender and the receiver, you can say anything. So, there should be some message, some data. And sender, there should be a sender. It could be a machine, end user, node, anything. Next one is a receiver. Receiver, it means the receiver who can receive the data. It could be the machine, node, etc. And the transmission medium, which we discussed already. Transmission medium, it means the channel. It means the channel by which data is, the message is transmitted among the clients and servers. And next one is the protocols. Protocols means there should be some rules and regulations. There should be some rules and regulations. Rules and regulation means what? Suppose I am telling one example. I am using a machine with some different configurations in terms of hardware and software. In a computer networks terminology, we can say, if I am using a machine with different underlying architectures and someone in the globe, suppose this is a globe, there could be various countries in the world, in the globe, and in each country there should be some states, some cities, some places where a person is sitting here and he or she wants to connect with the another person in another place of the globe. So how it is possible that the data which is transmitted by that person or node or machine is received by this person, node or machine in the same format? It means there should be some rules and regulations. This machine has different underlying architecture in terms of hardware and software, and this machine has different underlying architectures in terms of hardware and software. But the data which is transmitted by the sender is received by the receiver in the same format. It means there should be some rules and regulations. So, these are the components of the data communication. Now, the data flow. The next concept is data flow. Data flow is what? Suppose this is client, this is server, and clients and servers are connected with each other through the network. So, before going to the network, we are discussing about the data communication, because this is the very basic part of the network. So, there are some forms of data flow, we can say the mode of data communication. These are the different modes of the data communication of the data or the data flow. First one is the simplex. In simplex mode, it says that the movement of the data is in one direction only. One direction only, it means the data flow is unidirectional. The data flow is unidirectional. Unidirectional means the sender can send the data and the receiver can receive the data only. Both systems, both nodes or both machines are not allowed to send and receive the data. For example, monitor, TV and remote. It means only one can send the data and only one can receive the data only. This is the simplex mode of communication. Second one is half duplex. Half duplex mode of communication means the data flow between the sender and the receiver could be bidirectional. Could be bidirectional. It means sender can send the data to the receiver, receiver can receive the data, and again receiver can also send the data to the sender and sender can accept the data. It means bidirectional communication in the half duplex. But at a time, only one can send the data or receive the data only. Here we can see that the direction of the data at a time 1 and the direction of the data at time 2. At a single time, only one can receive the data or only one can send the data. This is half duplex. For example, walkie-talkie. Walkie-talkies. Now, the third mode of communication is full duplex. Full duplex, it means sender and receiver can send the data and receive the data at the same time. Direction of the data will be bidirectional. At the same time, sender can send the data and receiver can receive the data at the same time. So, these are the different mode of the communications. Now, network. As I have already told you that today we are discussing about the data communication and computer network. So, we have discussed the data communication. It means to form a network, the data communication, there is no concept of computer network or the network. So, we have seen in data communication that the data should be delivered to the receivers, the data should be accurately delivered, data should be delivered in a timely manner, and the jitter concept, that means the variation in the packet arrival time. And we have already discussed the components of data communication. These are message, sender, receiver, transmission medium, and the protocols. So, we have discussed about the data communication. Now, there is a concept of network. It is very important because We can't imagine our life without network. In this modern era, we are surrounded by the networks. So you can imagine that if you don't have a machine, a gadget in your pocket, your life is nothing in this modern era, in this digital era. So, what is network? Network means a group of devices that can communicate with each other. A group of devices. It means more than 2 devices, or minimum 2 devices at least required. Group of devices that can communicate with each other over communication links. We have discussed communication links. These are the transmission media, the channels. Each device has a unique address in the network. It means we can say that we can define the network in very basic terminologies. It means there should be some connection. Connection among what? Connection among devices, nodes, or anything. And the communication. After the connection, the communication. Communication, it means the transmission of the data. Transmission of data. And the medium, transmission medium. We can define computer network by using these 3 terminologies. It means a group of devices that can communicate with each other, over communication links. It means they are connected with each other. When more than 2 nodes or machines or systems are connected with each other and can transmit their data to each other through some communication channel, through some communication media, then we can say this is the network. And if we are talking about, in terms of computer, then we can say this is the computer network. So these are the basic requirement to form a network. Now, the uses of the networks. As I have already discussed, the requirement of the networks. In this modern era, in this digital age, it is the minimum requirement that everyone is connected with the network. We, the human beings, are connected with the network through the client machines. For example, I have already taken the example of client and server. So, client is what? And server is what? Clients and servers, both are the machines. And we, the human beings, are what? We are the end users. We are the end users. We, the end users, can connect with the client machine through some applications. There are various applications through which we can connect with our client machine. And through this client machine, we can send the request to the server that is situated in any other place of the globe that could be situated. This is also a machine. So end users can connect with the client machine with the help of some applications, and then through client machine, we can send a request to the server, and both client and servers are connected with each other through the network only. Through the network. So, uses are business applications, home applications, mobile users, emails, etc. There are lots of the uses of the networks. Till now, we have discussed the basic concepts of data communication and the network. Now, the point is internet. Internet is what? Internet means the collection of thousands of networks of network. We can say internet, the internet is a vast network. Vast network, it means what? Sometimes referred to as a networks of network that connects computers all over the world. See this figure. This is the globe. This is the globe, and there are various end users or the client machines actually. Client machines are connected with each other. This client machine can communicate with this machine. This client machine can communicate with this machine. This client machine with can communicate with this machine at the immediately on the immediate basis. Just like if we want to take a picture, we can use our gadget and immediately we can take the picture. So, through the network or through the internet, it is possible that we can send or receive the data in the same manner very frequently. There are some rules and regulations, there are some protocols, there are some models, widely accepted models, TCP IP model, OSI models, we will discuss in later chapters. Right now we are discussing about the internet. So, suppose there is a small network in any place, there is small network in any place, there could be different networks on the globe, and if they are connected with each other and the machines can send or receive the data among all, it forms an internet. So, in a very simple word, we can say the internet means the networks of networks. Networks of networks, it means what? The thousands of the networks of the networks. There are many protocols, there are many rules and regulations for this. We will discuss, but now we have to understand the concept of internet. It means this is the thousands of the networks of network is called as an internet. Now, we will discuss about the physical structure of the network. Physical structure, it means how we can configure the network. So, the first point is types of connection. Types of connection, we can categorize the type of connection in two types: point-to-point connection and multi-point connection. It means if we can configure the network, then we can connect two machines or many machines through the dedicated connection, through the dedicated channel. If there is a dedicated channel between two nodes, it refers to a point-to-point connection. And multi-point connection means various nodes are connected with the single channel. Single channel. It means the channel is shared among various nodes by the various nodes. This is multi-point connection. Now the term topology. Topology, it is a very important concept when we configure the network, then we can say the topology of a network is a geometric representation. Geometric representation of the relationships of all the links and linking devices. So, topology refers that the geometric representation of the networks. It means how the nodes are connected and they can form a network. How it is possible? We can categorize the topology in 4 broader categories: mesh topology, star topology, bus topology and ring topology. Bus topology refers that the nodes, the machines are connected with a backbone wire, backbone channel. There is a backbone channel, backbone wire, main wire, and various nodes are connected with this wire, with this channel. Then it refers a bus topology. And the channel by which the node is connected with the backbone is called as a drop line, and the connector is known as tap in the bus topology. In ring topology, it means all the nodes are connected. Each device has a dedicated point-to-point connection with only the 2 devices on either side of it. This represents the ring topology, and the repeaters are used in the ring topology. Repeaters are used to regenerate the signals in ring topology. In star topology, this is the structure, geometric representation of the star topology. It means there is a central machine called as a controller, or the main terminology is hub. And all other nodes are connected with this hub. If this machine wants to send the data to that machine, it means it first sends the data to the central controller hub, and then the data is again transmitted to the other connected devices. This is the concept of the star topology. Mesh topology, it is very important. In mesh topology, every device has a dedicated point-to-point link to every other device. This is the structure of the mesh topology of having nodes 5. There are 5 nodes, and in mesh topology we can say that each machines are connected with each other through the dedicated duplex link, full duplex links. This node is connected with this machine also, this machine also, this machine also, this machine also. So if there are n nodes, it means these n nodes, then the duplex mode links are required by the mesh topology is n into n minus 1 by 2. And the input-output ports, it means the ports. Suppose by every device, please remember, the input-output ports are required by every device is n minus 1. Suppose there are 5 nodes. So, by each machine, how many input-output ports are required? 1, 2, 3, 4, n minus 1. 5 minus 1, it means 4. So, we have to remember that in mesh topology, n into n minus 1 by 2 links, duplex links are required, and the input-output ports are required by each machine is n minus 1. This is the mesh topology. Hybrid topology. Hybrid topology means we can configure the topology by using minimum 2 different topologies. Suppose this is an example of star topology. Central controller is here, hub. This is a star topology. But again, we can configure a bus topology also. Here we have configured bus topology also. So this is the combination of star topology and bus topology. That's why it is called as a hybrid topology. This is the basic concept of data communication and computer network. Till now, we have discussed about the basic characteristics of the data communication, components of the data communication, modes of the data communication, networks, concept of networks, requirement of networks, and the concept of internet, the concept of physical structure of the networks, point-to-point, multi-point, topology, 4 types of the topologies, and hybrid topology also. So this is the overall basic concepts of the data communication and computer network. We will discuss other topics of the computer network in later chapters. Thank you so much.